Okay, I don't know why I'm doing this sitting here on my couch. I mean, I'm usually poised in the kitchen doing something like standing at the counter, or as I tried yesterday, outside walking. Let me take these off. I don't think I need to see myself so clearly. Um, but yesterday was National Privacy Day, which I find extremely interesting because that's the day that I posted about somebody being in my phone. And I swear, every time I say this, I feel like I'm like this paranoid, like I don't want to label any mental illnesses. I don't want to be disrespectful, but I am not, um, as one of my friends had thought I might be schizophrenic, like having a psychotic break. I am not any of those things, but when your phone starts acting weird, I start researching. I'm very adept at research. And I was like, man, maybe I should have been an FBI agent. Maybe I am. See, this ties into, I was saying last night, maybe I am some CIA, FBI agent and I'm undercover and I don't know it and I just blew my cover. I promise you, unbeknownst to me, no, I promise you I'm not any of those things. But, when somebody's in your electronics, they start acting weird. I don't know how I mean, I've reset the phone numerous times. I don't know what else to do with it. But yeah, it's like maybe somebody else can help me with this, because for me to have my phone forensically, whatever the fuck they do with it, it's like $2,000. So that's what I'm saying. Like there's people that will listen about, hey, there's somebody stalking me. There's people watching me. They listen and they can give advice. But as far as some concrete, like, steps, I haven't quite found them. It's like make a police report. Okay, well, great. Well, what do you do with that? Throw paper at, the people watching you, or should I like plaster it against? No, like I'm not going to live my life in fear. Although, there are times that are, I don't want to say fearful, but they're weird and they're scary. And so I think I hopped on here because yesterday I stood up for myself and I posted those videos on my YouTube channel. Because you know what? I stayed silent my whole life about things. And I can't say my whole life, like I didn't speak truth. I did speak truth. But I felt, in this moment today, I feel like I'm truly able to speak my 1,000,000% truth. And I'm able to stand up for myself. And before it was kind of like, oh, I don't know if I should say anything. I don't want somebody to be mad at me. I don't want them to know I told on them. Like, because I did reach out to people about some of the abuse that's been going on and things that have been happening. And it was met with, I don't know, it just wasn't met with the same level of compassion and understanding that I had hoped it would be. That's a whole nother story. I don't know if I want to get into that right now, but I jumped on here because yesterday was National Privacy Day. One of my friends posted on Facebook about that, and I was like, well, that's really impeccable timing, universe, as always, right? The universe is always guiding me. God is always guiding me, and the synchronicities and things that show up are unbelievable. But yesterday being National Privacy Day, I'm like, holy shit. So, okay, I posted on National Privacy Day, and I wanted to hop on here and speak about some other things too. But I don't remember what they were at the moment. Let me pause this a minute. Okay, let me switch gears. So I did want to speak today. Like I woke up thinking about speaking about freedom, and it has nothing to do with privacy that I know of at this point in time. But I have spoken in other videos about, smoking weed and taking gummies and like having that freedom. And it was really weird. I had this dream about this guy named John. He was sitting in what was like a prison cell, but it was almost like, when you go to the dog shelters, like they have those kennels. It was similar to that, and John wouldn't come out. Like I'm trying to explain to John, like the door's open, you can come out, right? And he wouldn't. And then I started asking John, because John was in there for like drugs or something. It was really, I don't know, my dreams can be really weird. And yeah, my hair, it's clean, but Thank you, hormones. I did have a little bit of a sweaty morning. So that's that. And yeah, so perfectly imperfect. So in this dream, John wouldn't come out, and I'm trying to ask John about, hey, like, so something about smoking, something about weed every night, because I've been taking a gummy every night or smoking every night, and it's not that I'm like, I'm really questioning myself, I think, at this point, because somebody who had been, sober for some time, and then deciding not to be sober. I think I am acutely aware of like where lines can blur in regard to addiction, and I don't want to go down that path. I don't feel like I need it. It's not. It, oh God, what is that? What is that they say in the rooms? I don't remember. But it's not like I need it. Believe me, it's not like, when I was addicted to pain pills all those years ago. If you didn't have that, your body was going through withdrawal. So thank God for that. And thank God, that I don't have to feel that withdrawal. That's anyone who's struggling in addiction. There is hope. There is definitely hope. I don't know why I'm talking about this, but I'm going to go with it. So when I was in my active addiction with pain pills, to not feel sick, you kind of perpetuate the use of the pill. I was doing it against my will. That's the line. The weed I'm not doing against my own will. I was doing the pills against my own will. I didn't know how to get out of the cycle. And, my self-love and self-worth and self-everything was like fucking buried, dead, gone. I remember we were at my ex's parents' house, and I was telling myself and her that like I'm a piece of shit, like over and over, like that was my mantra, and everything negative, which is weird because I was such a positive person. It's like, what happened? Relationships and drugs happened, and this is incredibly personal, but I'm speaking it, so whatever. When I was in my 20s, I met a man who was at least, if not more than half my age. Had a relationship with him, and that was with drugs. Then after that, had a relationship with a girl, and that became drug involved. And then the next one was just, these are like major like relationships, right? Then the next one was drug involved as well, and then I got sober. So like, yeah, there's not a healthy pattern of relationships. I mean, we're not going to go in the in-between cracks and all that. That's just bullet points, okay? So this is all going to tie into self-love, I promise, because that's always, hopefully, always my main underlying theme. Got sober, met somebody, was friends with that somebody, and then parted ways for a short time. And then we came back together, and then moved in together, got married, was with that person for 12-ish years. Out of that relationship, and in that relationship there was never any drugs or alcohol shared between us, right? It wasn't that kind of relationship, but I will say it was me being an unhealed person going into a relationship. And like I've said before, stopping the drugs, the alcohol, or whatever addiction you're doing, stopping that doesn't, it just stops the thing. It doesn't, you're not changing your behavior. The real work comes afterwards. And I want to say again, anyone who's struggling with drinking, drugging, any kind of addiction, anything can be addiction. Even running can be an addiction, right? There's some healthy balance everywhere, and that changes on a daily basis. But if you're struggling, know that there is hope. There are people you can reach out to. If you don't know where to go, I think 211 is a good information line that you can dial from your phone and maybe get help. AA, NA, like you could just search online. They have phone numbers you can call. I'm sure at this point they have places you could text. I don't know. I had been out of the rooms for quite some time. I wasn't opposed to going to meetings, but I had just gotten away from that. And especially after doing all my trauma work I did for a long time. And trauma work, I mean, I really delved into that shit because, like I had said before, I always was curious about myself. Why was I the way I am? Who am I? Like, self-discovery. Like, that's been, I think, my main thing for years. And I ran from myself. And I'm not really sure where this is going other than addiction. Okay. But like my feelings, I didn't want to feel my feelings. I didn't know how to feel feelings. And it's like I said, these things overlap. So my therapist modeled that for me. Because, if you don't have that, how do you know? Like, how do you know what to do? You don't. So it's like, we model behavior. I think, we need people to help us learn. And that's what's so cool about like seeing different people, artists, and like taking pieces like from people around, whether you meet a stranger on the street and you like something that they've done, or you take pieces of people and you build who you are, which is so cool. But be yourself, find out who you are. I would encourage you to do that because I bet you're pretty fucking amazing. Whoever you are, there's magic in all of us, and there's magic in you, and there's greatness in you, and there's love in you. Even if you can't feel it right now, your heart beating, that means you're alive. You're alive, your heart's beating. There's hope. I believe there's always hope. I don't give a shit who you are, what you've done. There's always hope. There's always room for change. And I know that because I've changed. So with the addiction and this dream, it kind of like made me think for a minute. And, I'm trying to rationalize it and process it in my mind. So this is how I do this. So I'm just going to do it like maybe if I was like not recording myself and planning to put this on YouTube. So let's say why am I choosing to do weed every night? Well, so on a spiritual level, and I don't know if I talked about this last night or published it, I forget, because it's still morning and I'm still waking up with not Folgers in my cup. If that's a trademark, so that's not a trademark slogan, so because I said not Folgers. Anyways, just like that, I lost it. Give me a moment. I'm just gonna pick up here. So I question the weed, okay, but it opens me up spiritually, and I am curious for all my other spiritual people out there who do weed. And I think I've said this like in a podcast. I think last night I did a podcast. I'll have to go back and look at my social shit. But do you feel like weed opens you up more? Because I know there's times where it's like that channel, like it like opens up and I'm able to feel sensations in my body. I mean, the weed is not like it was when I was a kid. Not that I was smoking weed as a kid. That wasn't happening. By kid, I mean like teenager, where I didn't even really do weed, but the first relationship I mentioned earlier, yeah, that was coke and weed, which is interesting because he came through to me last night. He's been protecting me and guiding me, and that's cool because he's dead. I don't know how he died, and I don't want to be disrespectful to his family should they ever come across this. But I was very saddened to hear that he had passed several years ago. But I often wondered if it was because of drugs. Yeah, this message is like peppered with all kinds of weird shit, I think, at this point in time. But I don't know. I just feel very innately called to say, if you're struggling, keep going. Keep going. There is hope. Just one step. Sometimes you get through shit 1 second at a time. If you want to pick up a drink or a drug, just hold off 1 more second. You never know. Excuse me. You never know when that breakthrough is coming. I promise you. Man, life gets really fucking fucked up shitty before, like, don't quit before the miracle happens, right? That's what they say in the rooms. And it's true. So often we endure, and it's like we can't fucking take anymore. How much more can you take? Just keep going. find the positivity in life, find the joy in life, and all the other shit that's going on. I mean, this could be addiction or otherwise, all the other shit that's going on. Somehow it'll just work itself out, right? Sometimes we need to take action, but I can't speak for everybody else. I just know what I do. I'm divinely guided. I listen to my intuition. I pick up on the external cues. I typically know what's coming from my guides and what's not coming from my guides. I mean, this is the 3D 5D split. I mean, so there's a lot of shit going on. There's a lot of fakery, fuckery, trickery. I mean, label it whatever you want. My experience as of late has been there's a lot of fuck shit. Okay, there's a lot of fuck shit going on. Thank God I know who I am. Thank God I'm on the journey that I'm on, because it's been interesting for me lately in the spiritual realm. Things have been heightened, and confirmation. Things have been very heightened. These are new times. Like, these are times I've never seen before. The things that I'm feeling and going through are brand fucking new. And I know I'm not alone, because I know there's a lot of spiritual people, especially based off of TikTok. There's a lot of people, and thank God for that community, because where the fuck was that in the 90s? It wasn't. Unless, oh my God, do you remember like AOL and dial-up and oh, you've got mail? That's a great movie, by the way. And the ending of the movie is like, I wanted it to be you. That part of that movie has been sticking in my mind as of late for like weeks. Not all the time, but it comes through whenever I think of like, you've got mail. And my table just cracked. That was really bizarre. But I wanted it to be you, with the dog Brinkley at the end. And like, how cool is that, right? Is there somebody in your life that you want to be yours? Yeah, I'm asking the audience, and I'm pondering myself. I'm not really sure how to answer that right now. So I'm just gonna stay in my self-love, my self-discovery mode. I hope to have love. I know I'll have love again, and I know it's gonna be everything that I've ever desired, ever wanted. The things I know I want, the things that it's not like this checklist of things, right? I mean, I do have like as I discover myself, I'm discovering what I would want in a partner, which that's so fucking cool, because I didn't know. I mean, I just gave you kind of like the major relationships in my life, like how, drugs. I mean, and then sober but not healthy. So it's like, I'm the most healthiest I've been. So I know the next person I'm with, we're gonna just match each other, and it's not gonna be like competition came to mind. It's not gonna be competitive. No, I would hope not. I mean, healthy competition, sure, like playing games, board games, and maybe like sports, swim, bike, run, go for a swim. So it's going to be like a healthy relationship where we can help each other grow and level up. And that's no disrespect to anybody that I've had in my past. It's just me knowing my self-awareness, and holy shit, since August of 24, I mean, we're almost to the beginning of February, right? Today's the 30th of January, 2025. So to see the growth that I have made in just this short time, especially with all the other shit and invasion of privacy and like being fucking hunted by vampires or vultures, or I don't know, LMP would say it very nicely in a song. I'm astounded at the level of strength I have, and the level of self-discovery I have. It's so fucking cool. And I didn't know I needed it. I thought I knew who I was. I did. I thought I had a pretty good understanding of who I was, and being in a marriage for 12ish years, and I don't know why. I'll give the history again and me cheating on her, and then, us working through it. But in the end, like, I had to choose myself because it just, something wasn't working for me. And choosing myself was the most incredible gift I've ever received or given. And that's the coolest shit ever. I received and I gave to self all in the same moment. And honoring myself. And so I thought I knew myself, and being alone in this house, alone, I use the term loosely because I feel like people have been watching me for a long time. Don't know how they're doing it. And like I said, I don't know if it's constantly or so, whatever. All intents and purposes, I'm alone. I mean, being alone in this house, allowing me the space and comfort to sing, to write, to do music, whether I'm plunking out one note at a time or like doing chords. I don't know. Like, I'm just so imperfectly perfect. And I used to think that I had to have everything lined up before I did it. Like, you had to practice and be perfect before like you even attempted to do it, which doesn't make any sense. How can you attempt to do something you don't know how to do, but practice at it, but attempt to do it? Like the thinking, I think, is so twisted, right? I mean, does society think like this? Like, do y'all think like this? Because that's the mentality that I have, I think, grown up with. It's like, I've been so shy. I don't know if shy is the right word, but that's what came out. I've been afraid. I've been held back. And, I've been saying as of late that my marriage, like, kept me, like, pressed down. But I don't think it's not, I can't even talk about the person because she's amazing. She's incredible and deserves the fucking world. And I hope to God she finds her happiness. It's just not with me. So, feeling like that. And I think maybe I felt like that because I couldn't be vulnerable. Holy fuck. So maybe that's the revelation. I didn't feel like I could be vulnerable. And to have that freedom to fuck up and make mistakes and, go from one, I call them stations sometimes because I have different hobbies and things I like to do. So I'm like bouncing around the house, doing different things on my time, away from my job. So having this time alone has been, I think, the most incredible time of my life. It's just weird. Excuse me. I'm like, I must be like, I feel like when I do that, like I'm releasing. We're gonna pull on this thread. There's times, especially at nighttime, when I'm really processing some shit, that my body, it like opens so wide for a yawn. Like, it's almost as if I'm purging. Anyone who's done breath work, amazing shit. I would highly recommend it. Jamar Center in Florida. Oh my God, that place was an incredible part of my healing journey. Jamar is amazing. I can't say enough good things about him or the place that he has. So that reminds me, like, when I process like that and open so big and it's like, I can't do it. It's just, it's a bodily function that I've never felt before until recently. And I really feel like I'm purging, like, when I do that shit. And then that ties back into the weed because of what's going on in my personal life, being invaded, to the degree it's been, and being, when I say attacked, it's not like I'm being physically, like somebody's beating the shit out of me, but it's spiritual warfare. It's mental, emotional warfare, things that people say and do. It's like, it's difficult to explain. Hold on. I'm just going to leave it at that, okay? Because I had to pause and really think about how I wanted to move forward with it. and I'm just going to move on completely from it. Okay. So I apologize for the abrupt turn. But I'm being guided away from it for whatever reason. So I'm just going to go back to myself and spirituality, because I honestly don't want to spend time talking about people who are attacking me in such a way. They don't deserve my energy. I mean, I'm always open to a conversation, an apology, an open door. Like, talk to me about your behavior. Show me you're changing. You want to change. That doesn't mean I have to let you in, forgive you, or anything. But I always welcome opportunity for people to heal, people to own their shit, because that's one thing that I have always wanted to do, is be accountable for myself and my actions. And if I feel like I've done something inappropriately, or even if you don't think I have done anything inappropriately, but I feel I have, I feel like it's going to eat at me, right? In different ways. I might feel it in my body, it might ruminate in my head, but I have to take ownership of my actions. And sometimes I do shit and I don't know. I mean, I would be open to conversations. If you feel like I have hurt your feelings or said something inappropriate, please come to me, and we can have a conversation about it. And that leads me to there are certain things and people that having a conversation about their behavior, I'm just going to keep it using my experience. So people have done behaviors towards me. It's not for me to seek out to say, hey, you're doing this to me and this is not right. They know what they're doing. They know what they've done. So I'm not going to seek out, like, you're doing this to me, you owe me an apology. Fuck you. I'm going to take care of self. I'm going to be empowered. I'm going to live my life to the fullest every fucking day that I can. And I'm going to move on. And I'm going to use what you're doing as fuel. I mean, believe me, I cry. My feelings are hurt. I am angry. I don't understand what's happening. But I'm on this spiritual journey. So we're going to turn this back around after we did that little sidebar 360 spin. I don't know what the fuck that was. But spiritual journey and processing and breath work, and releasing. So the weed, it kind of removes the thinking, right? And it all comes back to, the being watched and being, whatever's happening, it's very stressful. Okay. That's the truth of it. It's very stressful. It's weird. It's weird. So being under that, I feel like the weed can open me up more. And I don't know if I'm just like, am I justifying this to myself? I don't know. Like I said, I don't need it. It's a relaxing tool. And this all ties into my spiritual journey and self-discovery, because things are so wildly different than what they've ever been. Like the past version of me and how I used to deal with things, that's like no more. And I think that's because the split. And I'm like not so much like into the bookwormy spiritualness. Like, I just go with what I feel. I go with what I'm being guided. My intuition is my guide. The spiritual communities online have been extremely helpful and help me feel like I belong. There's, spiritual shops in my area that I could go and participate in and go to. I think they have like maybe classes online. I mean, classes are usually on the weekends when I work. There is community there for sure, and I appreciate that. But also it's learning a new life, and this is my experience with it. And so, my God, like, if I can help somebody in some way, I mean, if I'm unraveling life in this new world, essentially, right? Because spiritually, it's just energetically, things are shifting and it's different and it's weird. And like on TikTok, I hear like the way that you, like, things are just going to be different, and they are. So I'm navigating all this new shit. And so for somebody who somebody who's a runner and a triathlete like me, I haven't been running. I haven't been doing anything, right? I got outside yesterday for a walk and I did a video, and that helped me get outside. So maybe I'll do that again. And again, it brings up being watched. So I think I haven't been outside because, you know, like when you see a mysterious, now this is going to sound weird, but I'm just going to put this out there. When you see a mysterious car, like somebody who frequents the neighborhood, right? Noticing a mysterious car parked in a certain space, and it's just noticing little things that feel off, okay? Now I'm not trying to make more or less out of something. I'm just processing information, and I'm curious, like, are you acutely aware of your surroundings? Like I am. Is this pattern recognition? Like what is it? I don't know, because I just do things, but there's something that's telling me that, hey, that vehicle that was parked in that spot, and then it showed up again and again, and then there's a different car. It's just weird. So this is me processing what it's like 5D, 3D, because my mind is telling me, Lise, like my name is Lisa, okay? I mean, I know I go by a different like handle and all that, but I mean, that's my name. So it's like, Lisa, you're fucked in the head. Like, what are you thinking about? Like, you know, like you're like psychotic. And it's like anybody who's psychotic is not going to think they're psychotic. I mean, that's my thinking. Like, I know I'm of sound mind and body. I know I'm not fucking crazy. And I know I get feelings, like things that can't be explained. I just don't understand why. And so my mind keeps trying to make sense of it when I just need to let it go and give it to God, because ultimately everything's being worked out for my highest and greatest good. But having that in the back of my mind, and I think people can see me coming. I don't know, dude. I don't fucking know. But it's just been weird. So for me to get outside for a run lately, it's just been many, many different things that are holding me back. And this is me being completely honest with myself, because you know what? I think it is partially being spiritual and being being told I need to rest. I have been resting like I've never fucking rested before, okay? And it's hard for me. This is newness. This is new. It's incredibly hard. I wake up in the morning and a song came to mind just now, blah blah blah, P Diddy. I forget the artist name. Anyways, I wake up in the morning and some days I'm like chill. I mean, just like everybody else, right? We're all not like the same every day. So this morning I was very like aggressive and like, I can't even say angry, but very like energetic. So that's telling me like I need to move my body, and I need to do I need to run? I don't know. What is this block with running? I mean, LA Marathon is coming up very soon. I don't know. And with that, I just got very sad. Like I got very depressed in my body. Let me think about this for a minute. I'm not really sure what this feeling is, but I got very very sad, very tired, very yeah, something is, it just happens so quickly. So when that happens, like I've been having a hard time discerning what is mine and what is somebody else's energy that I'm picking up, because I do that happens, and I think it happens so much without me knowing it. And I've been having a really hard time discerning like what is mine. Like I'll sit with my, like obviously I was just talking, right? And I'm fine. So that indicates to me that maybe it's not mine. But then at the same time, I was also talking about running and being stalked in a sense, right? So that can be really, really fucking depressing. There's just a lot of weird shit, okay? There's a lot of weird shit, and I think there's a lot of fuckery and trickery. Maybe that's a new word, trickery, that's going on because the energies of the world things are shifting. And I don't give a fuck if I sound like a wackadoodle, okay? This is my truth. This is who I am. And back in like the 90s, I mean, I grew up with a mom who was, into this shit, right? She was into the channeling of Kryon, Kryon. Amazing shit. Look it up with Lee Carroll. He's amazing. So it was like I was introduced to this, and my mom would tell people, like, you know, about this. And I don't want to divulge too much of her information. This is not anybody else's, even though people are interwoven into my life. This is me speaking about my experience. So I don't want to bring other people into it without their permission, or, you know, like wanting to. Even though people will be brought in, I'm like learning how to navigate this. So thank you for being with me and whatever. So it's like when things like that happen, how do you discern what's yours and what's somebody else's? And so now, like, it's shifted. I'm feeling cold, shivery almost. My hands are very cold. Yeah, almost like I want to chatter. It's weird. So I got on here because my friend posted that yesterday was National Privacy Day. Which it was just like, I'm so proud of myself for standing up for myself and not staying silent, because this is an incredibly, I think, delicate balance that I am on. And yeah, no longer will I stay silent. I'm not calling anybody out. I'm not naming names. I'm not any of that. But this is my truth, and this is what's happening to me. So, like, at the same time, if I can help somebody, maybe somebody can bounce ideas, like maybe we can connect in some way, and I can get some insight and somebody else can get some insight. So it's like it's an interconnectedness. Fuck, I'm going through it anyways, and I've been speaking out loud to myself anyways, so why the fuck not share it? And hopefully, my God, hopefully somebody else can identify and be like, holy fuck, I'm going through something so similar. Because that I check the TikTok, my comment received 135,000 likes about me being my own lover, my best friend, my own therapist, my own everything, basically, on this journey of self-discovery. And I don't check it because, like, oh God, did I get another like? No, it's like, holy mother of God, that many people actually identify with that comment, which means I'm not alone. And if I'm not alone and they identify or they like it, I mean, they must like it in some ways. And they're not just like every, I don't know. I guess I can't assume, but I choose to see the good part in it, is that we're all more connected than we realize. So on that, I'm going to leave you with joy in my heart. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being you. Be you. Be magic. Be fire. Go tell yourself. Go talk to yourself in the mirror. Look into gaze upon your eyes. Gaze upon yourself. Tell yourself how incredibly beautiful you are. How not aesthetically pleasing, but your soul, your inner self is beautiful. And of course, your outwardly appearance is beautiful, regardless of gender, like labels. Beautiful can be labeled. It's like non-gender, right? You're beautiful. You're magic. You're fire. You deserve the world. You deserve everything good for you. And if you've done shit bad stuff, if you've done bad, it's okay. Be gentle with yourself. Be kind. Most of all, be kind to yourself. You're an incredible person, whoever you are. You're an incredible soul. You have a purpose here. If you don't know what it is, that's okay. Do something kind for yourself, even if it's just sitting here with your hand on your heart and breathing. I mean, life can be fucking overwhelming sometimes, right? So just take a moment, feel your heartbeat, hear your breath come in and out of your body. Take a moment and just be you. I promise you, the right people will love you so completely and wildly. I love you. If nobody has told you, I fucking love you and you matter. Enjoy your day. Be magic. See the beauty in you and see the beauty in everything, and be wildly, unapologetically you. Peace.